In this video, I'm going to give a brief introduction to ProBuilder. It's a free prototyping tool for Unity, and I'll show you how to set it up as well. Hey guys, Adam here from Mystique. I make games and I help others to learn game dev. By the way, if you're new to this channel, do consider subscribing to get game dev tips, tutorials, and inspiration. And hit that bell icon to get notified whenever I upload new videos. ProBuilder is a unique hybrid of 3D modeling and level design tools. It's optimized for building simple geometry, but capable of detailed editing and UV unwrapping too. It also allows you to export the 3D models into formats that are compatible with most 3D softwares such as Maya and Blender. So from there you can add even more details and polish to your 3D models. Here are some of the key features of ProBuilder. First, there's the versatile poly shapes. In the scene view, you can simply just click to add control points. This will form the outer bounds of the mesh, and then once you've finished placing the points, you can just press enter to finalize the shape. You can always come back and still edit the control points and modify your poly shape. Next, you can easily extrude and inset these poly shapes by selecting a face and holding down shift while moving, rotating, or scaling. Apart from creating poly shapes, you can also use the default shapes and modifying their settings that make customizing them a breeze. My favorite is the staircase shape right here. To add more depth and information to your level prototypes, you can quickly apply colors to the faces of the models using vertex coloring. There's also texture mapping in ProBuilder, which makes it fast and easy to apply materials as textures to an object and then adjust the offset, rotation, and tiling of that object's UVs. And finally, the toolbar is very dynamic and will adjust accordingly to the window size. You can easily switch between icon mode or text mode, and the buttons will adjust accordingly. Hey, before we continue, I just want to make a quick announcement. I've just set up a Discord server for Mystique, link in the description below. It's a place where I share more tips and resources for game dev. I also share various tools that I use. There's also channels for the community to contribute and share not only their projects, but also tutorials they made or if they find any online. You can also ask for help from the community when you get stuck in game dev, and you can even find people to collaborate with, whether it's paid or just for fun. So do check it out. Now let's get back to the video. Before you can start, you'll need to have ProBuilder installed into your Unity project. Head over to the window, click on Package Manager, and then select all packages. Look for ProBuilder, and then click on Install. Once it's finished installing, you can exit the Package Manager window. Head over to Tools at the top of Unity. You'll see ProBuilder, and now you can select ProBuilder window. You'll notice with the ProBuilder window, you can move it around and you can leave it as a floating window. Or if you're like me, you can kind of dock it at the side like this and resize it. You can basically dock it anywhere, but I prefer it to be on the left hand side here. You'll also have two options when it comes to the icons and the buttons. You can right click anywhere on ProBuilder window and you can choose icon mode, and all of a sudden all the buttons change to fit and show icons. It's very dynamic, so when you resize the window, it'll also auto adjust. You can easily switch back by right clicking anywhere in ProBuilder and clicking on use text mode, and you'll get back the text mode buttons. When you hover around the buttons, there'll be descriptions that pop up. So this way, if you ever forget what does each button do, you can just hover the mouse and have a look. The other thing I recommend that you have switched on is the dimensions overlay. So for example, once we have this new shape selected, we create a cube object. Head over to Tools, ProBuilder, and then select Dimension Overlay, select Show. When you zoom in further, you'll notice that now you have an overlay of the dimensions and the measurements of this particular game object that you have just created. So in this instance, this cube by default is 1 meter by 1 meter across all axes. So if I were to turn it off, this is what it originally will look like by default. The other thing I recommend that you configure before you start working with ProBuilder is the lighting, because right now, as you can see, there's really harsh shadows, and eventually when you start building more complex geometry and the bigger your level gets or your prototype gets, it can get kind of annoying. So head over to Window, go for Rendering, click on Lighting Settings, and then disable real-time lighting and mixed lighting. And now you don't see much of a difference, but later on you'll see that as you build more and more, the lighting becomes less intrusive. So the next thing that I recommend is to have ProGrids installed. This way you'll have an additional snappable grid where your 3D objects can precisely snap along any grid that you want. And this will give you more precision as you're moving and also rotating and building your models using ProBuilder. I'll cover this in a separate video. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and consider subscribing for more game dev tips, tutorials, and inspiration. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Special thanks to my Patreon supporters. It is due to their generosity that I'm able to make more games and more videos like this one.